Welcome back to Lewis's bug. Just a little catch up with Lewis and his bug. So on the way to EBI, there was a little issue, unfortunately. I think it actually almost cut out. So we lost a lot of power and I don't think he made it to EBI in this. So it started playing up about an hour into the journey. They continued, got across the channel, and it was on the other side in France. I think it got to about 30 miles an hour and wouldn't do any more, so they had to leave it and get it recovered back. So that's where we're at. First thing we're going to check, well, I think we start at the other end actually. We need to check the fuel tank. So let's start at the tank end. I'm going to take the sender unit out, make sure we haven't got any debris in the tank, because it sounds very fuely to me. Normally with something like an ignition problem, it's like turning the key off. It will stop completely. But for it to sort of peter out and drop down in speed, not being able to do any more than 30, it sounds possibly fuely to me. So we're going to check the fuel delivery first, starting at the tank. I'm just going to access our fuel tank from our sender unit. So I'm going to take the sender unit screws out, pop the sender unit out, and I can get a torch in and actually have a good look inside that tank and see if we've got any debris floating around that's blocking our hole up. That's first theory. That's theory number one. So that's where we're starting. So we wiggle this out on the gasket, like so. Pop him over here. Pop him over here. Right, and then we just need to get a torch and take a look down inside. So a quick inspection. It actually looks really good in there. There's no corrosion on the bottom of the tank. There's a little bit of corrosion from underneath when you look at the tank, but actually inside is very clean and non-corroded. So that's all good. I can see the pipe that comes up through. That looks clear at the moment. There's, you know, that's not saying that there may be a bit of dirt that's gone down that pipe and is stuck in it. The only thing I did notice, there is quite a big bit of, it looks like sealer stuck at the bottom of the tank. That's interesting. So I think when we first took this off and put maybe another sender unit on, I think we might have changed the sender unit, I can't remember. I think we took the sender unit out and it was sealed up with quite a lot of sealer, and we were very careful to try and peel most of it off. So that may have been from the original fit when someone put a sender in there with loads of sealer. So I need to get that out. The rest of it looks good. But that does make me think that possibly a bit of dirt has gone down, or a bit of that sealer has gone down that fuel pipe. So we're going to start here, drop the line out, and then we're going to blow through the air with an air line through that and see what we get out the other end. So I've made a little thing out of a bit of wire and bent it and curled it round to hopefully try and pick up that bit of debris that I see flying around in the tank. Wish me luck. I couldn't get my pliers right down there, so we're going to gently... There we go. Look at that. Don't even know what that is. Sealer, paint, or... I've no idea. All I know is it shouldn't be in the fuel tank. Don't want that in there. So I've got a lovely little clamp here. A lovely little clamp here that I'm going to clamp off the fuel pipe with. And then I can undo the rubber flexi pipe with this on, and then hopefully we can blow down the pipe that runs the entire length of this channel all the way down to the back. So let's do that bit first. So I'm trying to remove the pipe from our steel fuel line. It's probably been on there a little while, so I'm trying to gently tease it off with my hook. But I think I'm going to need a little bit of maintenance spray or something. Try and get that, once I get that hose to spin, I can slide it off. I mean, we could replace that bit of hose if need be, so I could cut it off. I don't really want to break it if I don't need to. So this is our rubber pipe from the tank, and this bit here is our pipe that goes through the centre of the car all the way down to the back. So the next thing we need to do is disconnect the fuel filter from at the back, and then blow down that line and see if we've got any muck that comes out of it. And this pipe looks like a bit of garden hose to me. Bit of garden hose. It's not, it's a braided and reinforced clear pipe, but it's no good at all. No good for modern fuels. The trouble with this sort of pipe is it goes very rigid, and then the fuel makes it go very rigid. It's very difficult to remove. I might just have to put a knife to it and cut it off. So I've got myself a little bit of fuel pipe here, and I've connected that to our hard line pipe that goes all the way through the car to the back. Now I'm going to pop an airline through here. So I've got my airline here, my long range airline, as you can see, and that blows a little bit of air pressure. I'm going to pop that in there, bit of rag this side, and then rag that end to catch whatever comes out the airline. Out the fuel line. Sorry, fuel fumes. And that might give us an indication of whether there's dirt in there. So we're going to do that. Nick, my cameraman, is going to hold the cloth and hopefully catch the debris that comes out of that pipe through the centre of the car. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. You ready? Oh, little bits of dirt from inside, but not too bad. Okay, I was expecting a big clump, but that's cool. Yep.
I mean, is that?
I reckon we're going to blow back down that way because I think there's something stuck in there.
Yeah?
Yeah, that doesn't feel like there's enough air pressure coming out. So quite interestingly, what we discovered was putting pressure on this end didn't seem to do much that other end. So I swapped over and put our pipe from the back end and blew forwards, and I actually heard a and a release, but unfortunately we didn't have the rag here to catch in or see. But then we had a good flow from back to the front. So now I've put the pipe back at the front. We haven't got such a good flow. It starts off good and then slows down, almost as though there's something in that line that's blocking that line up. We've now got 10 bar of pressure in our compressor. And I'm going to fire it from the front to the rear through that fuel pipe and see if we get a good flow out the back, and then back from the back to the front again, and just make sure that it's clear now. When I'm happy it's clear, we can put the pipes on, and hopefully that's cured Lewis's problem. Oh, it's blocked up. Oh. Yeah, so we've got no flow at all now. Oh, we did to start with. Yep.
You can hear it?
Yeah. Yeah, there's something blocked in that line, isn't there? So I continue to blow with the airline at the back, this way, from the front, that way, and lo and behold, you wouldn't believe it, on the last time I was just about to give up and run a new fuel line in, and it went and blew out the crap this way. I don't know what it was because I was at that end, unfortunately. Nick the Click had to run off, so I was on my own. But whatever it was popped out of that fuel line, and it's now clear, and I can blow up either end, no problem. So that is cool. So now we're going to put on some new fuel pipe. We've got rid of that horrible like hose pipe it looked like, the reinforced clear stuff. I've cut that off, and we've got this stuff that we sell here at Just Kampers. Now this is E10 proof, so if you haven't got E10 proof fuel pipe on your car, you need to change that because that will break it down. So this can go on, a couple of fresh clips, and then we can give it a run down the road and just check that we're all tickety-boo. Right, now it's time for a little fire up and just check that our hoses aren't leaking. So let's get it fired up. Lewis's funky gear stick. So there it is running. I'm going to pop it up in the air and just double check that we haven't got any leaks at that fuel filter and all the connections that we've redone basically before we run down the road. Okay, all looking good, nice and dry, that's good. Dry there. I'm just going to check the front and then I think we're good to give it a run down the road. Road test time. So what we need to check for is, well, before it was actually getting quite stuttery on a constant run, which would suggest that the carburetor was using up the fuel and not having it replenished in time, hence the blockage in the line that we found. So on a constant cruise, it would start feeling like it was holding back and then get down to a point where it would only do, I think, about 30 miles an hour flat out. So let's give it a run and see what we've got now. So we've been at a constant cruise, and it feels really good. There's no hesitation, no fluffiness, and it actually feels, I think, a bit more eager. So that's good news. So I think we've cured that bit. Brilliant. Cruising along at 60, no problem at all. But I'm not really pushing the throttle too much either. Got loads more left. I reckon we could get 110 out of it now. So I'm really happy with that. Let's head back to JKHQ. Here we are back at JKHQ. The car ran really well, so I'm really pleased with that. Hopefully Lewis will be super pleased with that. It can go out and go down the motorway now, or go down these A roads without worrying about it petering out and running out of fuel, or feel like it's running out of fuel. So that's that one done. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe and leave a comment if you like, and we'll catch you next time.